I keep going, Frank. Frank, what'd you buy now?
I didn't buy anything. We got ourselves a compressor from Buddy over at what the hell's it called?
Rough and Tumble.
Yeah. So he says it runs. It's a 175.
Frank's got himself a nice 175 air compressor. It looked way smaller when it was sitting on the ground. Loaded that up with the 22B out there at the show, and of course we got to stay in fashion. Unloaded with another cable machine. Frank, what is this in Inslee? What?
K12. It's a 1955 or 54 or something like that. And we haven't used it at all this year, so this could be interesting. It does run though.
Jump pack engaged. Go in a little bit. You got to back up a hair. Pulled the truck out from under. Probably should have shined up the rusty brakes first. We're going to test the side load capability. How you want to turn, dear bud? You want it this way or what? Hey, kick the master and then hold the clutch in and then let it out.
It won't. It booster bands. It doesn't go through the gear.
I got you. Got it. Good. We have landed.
We're having a little play day here at Little Brownsville. Scrappy Industries running 15B. And I got the Lima fired up. This is Scrappy approved. So this is our new air compressor that Scrappy Industries helped us unload the other day. $175 CFM. It's like we've got just under 1,200 hours. Spyro flow 175. UC 200 engine. So I think the first thing here, we're gonna slide these doors off and then give it a quick wash. So we got it all cleaned up. Good enough for right now so we can see what we got. Should spray some degreaser on it and get it a lot cleaner. Maybe pull the hood off, pick it up in the air. But we'll be able to work on it and not worry about getting dirt where we're not supposed to get it. So I already see an issue with this distributor. There's a notch here for a tab in the cap to lock into. This has a notch over here, and we are 180 degrees out on that. So we'll put that where it needs to be. Put our rotor back on, and now the cap should sit right. The other way, you could turn the cap and throw the timing off. Now, I unhooked the fuel tank and I had a barbed push to connect fitting here, so we're going into a fuel can. And now over here on this side we've got the carburetor, and I noticed an issue with this already. So this is your throttle shaft. And back here the governor's not going to do its job. You can see that shaft is just spinning on that lever. So we're going to pull the carburetor off and might as well take a look at what we got going inside of that. So let's start removing this carburetor. Start by taking off our fuel line. Pull the cotter pin out of the throttle lever. Alright, let's take the bottom off the carb. A little bit crusty in there. We've got a pinhole in our float. It's got some fuel in it. So our inlet's free. Just want to make sure it works first before we invest some money into it. Yeah, we got a little crack right here. So we'll have to solder that up. See this little wet line? So I just put a little pressure on it, we got a little crack in it. So this float's in pretty bad shape. More than just this little crack right here, I thought it was. Alright, so we got it all cleaned up. I gave it a shot at soldering this float. Not sure how it's gonna do. But I put it in some water and it floated. Our oil's good. I want to check the oil in the compressor, make sure that's okay. And then I think we can hook a battery to this and try to crank it. So this regulator was broke off, kind of just plastic welded it back together. See if that holds. Alright, we got the jump pack hooked up. I got the choke freed up. I guess we'll see what this thing wants to do. That was a good sign. Let's see what that does. So the air's blowing out of our regulator, but she runs and makes air. So I got a new regulator to install in this. I just had to open up the hole in the side of the case a little bit. I replaced one of the lines here. This one's still flexible, but the other one was pretty dry rotted. This is the same push to connect hose that I was using on the Lima 24. So real easy to work with. Good for 300 psi working pressure. So we're going to get that installed, and then we got a new air filter to put in, and I got a kit for the carb and a new float. So you can see our old air filter, pretty deteriorated. Never seized our bolt. So I kind of figured this was going to be the case. This float was in pretty bad shape. I soldered it up, but I didn't get all the leaks. So we got a new float. Looks the same. So that was our issue, but I got some other parts here that we'll put in, and then we'll see how it runs. I guess we'll see if it fires up. I don't think the float's set right. Alright, let's try it again. It looks like I just had the tab on the back of the float bent too far. Well, I guess I'd call that a success. We got an air compressor now to do some sandblasting and enough air to air arc, stuff like that. Still needs a little things. I'm going to change the oil on it, change the compressor oil, and just replace a few more of the hoses. But for right now, I'm happy with what we got done.